With most of the heroes wiped out during a battle with Ultron and the world at the mercy of the villain's machine army in the alternate future of Next Avengers Heroes of Tomorrow, Captain America tells Iron Man to take the children of the Avengers to a base in the Arctic Circle to keep them safe. Here, Tony trains the kids for over 12 years until they become the new Young Avengers. Among these children is the son of Captain America and Black Widow, James Rogers. As the son of two super soldiers, James possesses all the benefits of the super soldier serum: peak human strength, speed, durability, agility, stamina, and reflexes. He also becomes the natural leader of the group of Young Avengers and has a natural gift for tactics and planning, so much so that it helped the team to defeat Ultron with the help of the Incredible Hulk. Speaking of the big green Goliath, when the Hulk was banished from Earth by the Illuminati during Planet Hulk, he crash landed on the planet Sakaar, which is where the Hulk met his second wife. Although Kaora appeared to pass away in the destruction of Sakaar, she actually gave birth to the Hulk's first children, Scar and Hiro-Kala. Now, a lot of people are aware of Scar, and he even had an appearance in the MCU, although he looks nothing like he should. But Hiro-Kala seems to be often overlooked. While Scar looks like his dad, Hiro-Kala takes more after his shadow child mother in more ways than one. Other than being pale, bald, and rather skinny looking, Kala inherited the ancient old power after the destruction of Sakaar. But learning that the old power is corrupt, he just creates the quote new power by combining the old power and the power cosmic, fueled by hate for Galactus. With this power, Hiro-Kala has insane levels of durability. He's been able to bestow the power on others, mutating them. He could create force fields capable of taking on a blast from Galactus. He had precognitive visions. He could create energy blasts powerful enough to destroy planets and turn into stone. He's incinerated fools, made people's heads explode. He can fly, control tectonic plates, which is nuts, move planets, which is more nuts, and pull them out of their orbit. So yeah, he's kinda off the chain. Now, with a name like Hulkling and the fact that he's green, you may think that Theodore Teddy Altman is also the son of the Hulk, but he would be very much incorrect. Funnily enough, Hulkling is actually the direct son of none other than the first ever Captain Marvel, Marvel of the Kree, who became an honorary member of the Avengers after his passing, so to me, that makes him fair game. Okay, but why is he green and can shapeshift? Well, that's because back during the Kree-Skrull War, the Super Skrull took Captain Marvel, Quicksilver, and the Scarlet Witch and presented them to the Skrull Emperor. Now, while being imprisoned, Captain Marvel and the Emperor's daughter, Princess Anel, got a little too close for comfort, and about 9 months, or however long it takes for Skrulls later, out popped a tiny little Kree-Skrull hybrid with superhuman strength, speed, and stamina, and the ability to shapeshift, named Teddy. For a lot of his time, he would turn into a teenage-sized Hulk as a member of the Young Avengers, but thanks to his heritage, he has moved on to become the Emperor of the Kree-Skrull Empire, which, as you can imagine, entails a different kind of power than the super variety. An adopted test tube baby created by Arnim Zola in Dimension Z, Ian Rogers, or Nomad, was taken by Steve Rogers and was raised for 10 years by him in Dimension Z until he was thought to be accidentally taken out by Sharon Carter. But he actually survived and was raised further by Sharon while Steve was back in the real world. Being trained by Captain America, Ian was exceedingly useful in combat and even with using a shield like his father's, but he was also born with above peak human levels of physical and mental abilities like enhanced strength, speed, intellect, and longevity, as well as accelerated healing thanks to the biogel that Zola made him with. As long as he has a supply of that gel within his armor, his body will always fix itself from pretty much anything. He once wielded the shield of Cap, but now uses the Horde Crusher, which is a big old staff made by Arnim Zola. He's pretty awesome, and he had a really awesome leading part in the Secret Wars story, Hail Hydra from 2015, alongside another offspring of Captain America, Ellie Rogers. The daughter of Steve Rogers and Sharon Carter, Ellie Rogers is a member of the Resistance in the really cool Secret Wars story of Hail Hydra from 2015. In the second issue, she meets up with Ian Rogers, Nomad, and after the Resistance is attacked by Venom, she gets infused with the Venom symbiote, gaining similar powers to those of Eddie Brock. Before this point, she seems to just be a very healthy, regular person, even despite her father's super soldier status. She had given up on the dream of the Resistance after such a long time under the control of Hydra, but her brother Nomad inspired her to keep up the fight, and they got in a little kerfuffle with the Hydra Avengers, and despite having a symbiote, she was taken out by her injuries. Wiccan, aka Billy Kaplan's existence, is is made possible by Scarlet Witch's reality warping powers. Billy here, along with his brother, were created by the Scarlet Witch as children that she couldn't actually have. Now, both of her sons were eventually erased from existence for the safety of pretty much everyone, including Wanda herself. Scarlet Witch later recovers her memories of her children, leading to a mental breakdown in Avengers Disassembled and the monumental event known as the House of M. Now, following those events, it is revealed that her children were actually reborn through reincarnation. Wiccan, as one of her spiritual sons, has inherited his mother's remarkable magical abilities. Like Scarlet Witch, Wiccan wields magic to manipulate reality, and in certain timelines, he even ascends to the role of Sorcerer Supreme in the future. He has been a part of the New Avengers, Avengers Idea Mechanics, and the Young Avengers, and the Secret Avengers, and he is scary powerful. Elsa Bloodstone is the daughter of the once immortal monster hunter Ulysses Bloodstone. Now, Ulysses trained Elsa from birth to inherit the family business, but using the word trained is a little bit of a misnomer. As a rite of passage, Ulysses made Elsa face the Blight Beast when she was just a baby. He tried to move her, quote, weakness by throwing her to a horde of great white sharks, and as her first monster, he made her face a Clipoth and allowed her to get infected by its blood as punishment for taking too long. While this makes Ulysses Bloodstone sound like a horrible person, which he is, he was actually an Avenger, although he was part of the little-known first team led by Nick Fury, which also had Sabretooth and Kraven the Hunter as part of its lineup. After her father's passing, Elsa took up the family tradition and became one of the best monster hunters in the world. As part of her inheritance, she received the Bloodstone Choker, granting her enhanced strength, stamina, speed, and durability, and an enhanced healing factor. But those are powers she did already possess to a certain degree, thanks to the blood running through her veins, which, on a side note, is also toxic to vampires, and even if one did bite her, she's immune to the vampire curse, so good for her, I guess. As you can imagine, her attributes plus her profession as one of the best monster hunters in the world made her a valuable asset when she was part of the Avengers. When Earth's heroes were taken to a distant planet by the Beyonder to perform in the Secret Wars, it was only because of the scientific mind of Reed Richards that they could return home. However, in the reality shown in What If number 114, Reed actually ends up passing away during a battle with the supervillains that had also been taken to the Beyonder's planet, leaving both the heroes and the villains stuck there. Over time, both parties decided to put their differences aside and settle down. 2 decades later, and it seems some of the heroes did settle down and even popped out some kids. Rogue became romantically involved with Captain America, of all people, only it's important to note that it wasn't really Rogue anymore who was in charge of her body, but the Carol Danvers personality. Carol, being able to control Rogue's absorption power, had a kid with Captain America who they named Sarah. Their daughter had inherited Carol's powers, but she could also be worthy enough to pick up Thor's hammer and often donned her father's shield as well, taking up the codename Crusader. Sarah joined several other superpowered teenagers to form a new group of Avengers. During a fight with the son of Dr. Doom, who was trying to return to Earth and conquer it, Sarah, like most of those descended from the Captain America, became a natural leader and helped inspire the other teen heroes. She is very powerful and she is very cool. In this year's Avengers Twilight, the story takes place after an event called H-Day, when Ultron and the Red Skull used the Incredible Hulk to launch a brutal attack and wipe out most of the Avengers. They then managed to turn the public against the remaining heroes in the aftermath, and their survivors retired. Now, in this dystopian future, the son of Iron Man and the Wasp, James Jimmy Stark, inherited the empire of Stark Technology. Having grown up in a society where superhuman vigilantism had been tarnished by public opinion, and being raised by Kyle Jarvis, who is not who he says he is, James's brilliant mind was used to create technology like the oppressive surveillance system, Iron Man drones, the armor used by the corrupt police force and the army, as well as the new Avengers, which were really just holograms. He eventually makes his own powerful Iron Man armor and uses it to fight Steve Rogers and his resistance before eventually trying to right his wrongs. Avengers Twilight is a definite must-read from this year, so check it out to learn more about James Stark. As the child of Reed Richards and Sue Storm, Franklin Richards was expected to be a big deal, and he really was. This kid has some pretty major reality warping abilities. There's an incredibly famous moment from the Fantastic Four story written by Jonathan Hickman, where Franklin is dressed up all rootin' tootin' in a Wild West outfit, strapped up with 2 plastic toy big irons, which he then points points at Norman Osborn, and using his abilities, he actually makes them fire. It's insane. He has been shown to create a pocket universe, create life doubles of someone, bring back the dead, and create entire planets. Franklin is one of the most powerful beings in the Marvel universe, so much so that the Celestials even fear him. And it's not just simple reality warping. In that same Fantastic Four story, Franklin's older self went back through time to train his younger self and protect the Fantastic Four, and he made Galactus into his herald in a comic book moment that will literally knock your socks off. Maybe not literally, but you get the point. Right now, it's pretty uncertain where Marvel is taking his character, but it's gotta be somewhere cool eventually. But that's the list. Thank you guys so much for watching today on Top 10 Nerd. I'm Adam Andrews. I'll catch you guys all on the Flippy Flop, but until then, make sure to stay safe and of course, peace out, you nerds.